when I think about the people of Honduras, I always am reminded of just how humble they were. And, it takes a lot of humility to be able to let some 19-year-old into your house who doesn't really speak your language and have that person tell you you need to completely change your life to do exactly those things that I'm telling you about, and then to do it, to have that trust and that faith. And that's what I love about the Honduran people. They're so faithful. And one of the greatest examples of that was one of my good friends and that I met down there, made down there, named Jaime. Jaime was the one of the first people that I ever had the opportunity to teach the gospel to and to eventually baptize. And so I was in my first area with my trainer, and as I've kind of mentioned before, I did not speak Spanish yet. I might have thought that I spoke Spanish, but really I didn't. And so I got there and realized that I didn't really always know how to say what I wanted to, and didn't really understand what was always being said back to me. But as we got to know Jaime, who at the time was in high school, we found someone who truly was prepared, who truly was one of the elect, as they say sometimes, and everything that we said, he immediately just soaked it all in, and was willing to make major changes in his life to become the type of person who could become baptized. And he worked hard to get ready for baptism. And what was kind of fun for me is, Jaime wanted to major in English, and so he spoke some English. And so it allowed me an opportunity to really say things to him that maybe I wasn't able to say to other people because he spoke a little bit of English. And he was just such an example to me of someone who was willing to listen to complete strangers and turn his life totally around because he wanted the knowledge and the blessings that we had as being members of the church. And he's someone that I'm close to this day. Now he's graduated from college and he's served in young men's and he's served in the elders quorum and just done all these wonderful things. And he's really become an example to me of someone who loves the gospel. And he's still my Facebook friend, and I see him on Facebook sometimes or talk to him, and he's a better Facebook missionary. In some ways I think he's a better missionary than I am. He's always putting things on and telling people how much he loves the gospel and going to the temple, and he sang in the choir at the temple dedication in Honduras a year ago, and just is an incredible man now, and I'm blessed to have known him, and I think that he's told me how much that it's blessed his life to have the gospel and how grateful he is to my companion and I for teaching it to him. But I think I learned more from him than he learned from me, and that's the great part about being a missionary. You really get the opportunity to help people change their lives, and they'll be so grateful to you. But by the time you're done, you'll realize that you've learned just as much from them, and you're grateful to them for the things that they've shown you and the faithfulness they've showed you. I know in my life, I was born into the gospel, and that was a great blessing. I've been going to church since the day I was born, and my parents have always taught me how to do, to live the right way, and they've always taught me how to live according to the gospel, and it's something by and large I've done. But there's been times where I've taken it for granted, and with my experience with Jaime and with so many other people. You see just how grateful they are to have it in their lives, and they don't take it for granted. And they know that, they know what it's like to not have the gospel in their lives, and the blessings and the differences that have come into their lives since being introduced to the gospel. And I'm grateful to them for showing me that, and for showing me how I should always remember to value being a member of the Church of Jesus Christ. And they're people. The people down there, Jaime and all the other wonderful people that I met, they're people that I'll always remember. And thankfully, through advances in technology, they're people that I can continue to keep in contact with, which is another great blessing. And it allows me to always remember the lessons that they taught me, which, like I said, I think were just as important as anything that I ever taught them.